So is that my cue?
It is.
How you doing? Hi everyone. Yes, and thanks Margaret for inviting me. And apologies for the Spanish lesson on its own would have been fine, but all the talking as well on top of the Spanish lesson wouldn't have been that interesting. I need to also firstly apologize. I've actually managed to bite my mouth while rushing my dinner today. So if I do this and touch my mouth, it's not just bad manners. I've just hurt myself. Apologies. Yeah, so I'm Colm Massey, one of the founders of the Solidarity Economy Association, and we're a submission-led cooperative based. We're founded in Oxford, but actually we work. Our members are across the country, and we collaborate with people all across the world. And our vision is to bring the solidarity economy, bring awareness of the solidarity economy to the UK, and to build links between the solidarity economy as we understand it in the UK and internationally and other parts of the world. We've got several project strands. Our biggest is our cooperation in Mesopotamia work, which is about building links of solidarity between the cooperative movement in the UK and in northern Syria. And this is very exciting work and very hard work. I'm hoping to visit northern Syria after the summer. The women's movement there is a very, very powerful women-led co-op movement in northern Syria, and we're actively involved in supporting that and raising awareness about it. We also design and run workshops about cooperatives, and we've just started a new one called Transforming the Co-op Movement, which is about teaching co-ops about the radical history of the co-op movement, and how it fits into the larger kind of social change movement. We're also about to launch a mutual aid website, which will basically teach people about the existing kind of COVID-inspired mutual aid initiatives that have blossomed over the crisis, but also help people see how mutual aid fits into a longer political tradition. So the website will show historic examples of mutual aid, as well as talking about the contemporary mutual aid movement, if you want to call it that. And actually doing real solidarity. So as well as education about the solidarity economy, actually we try and build it. So we sort of fundraise for projects like the cooperatives in Syria, and we're also, a new project this year is called the Solidarity Economy Organisers Network. So when SEA started up, we considered creating a solidarity economy network. But we actually felt at the time, if we did it, it would have ended up being another white middle class led network. And as a privileged white middle class male myself, I was very conscious of this happening. So we didn't do that straight away, and we've only now launched the project now, and I'm hoping that that this new network that we're hoping to create will be sort of Black and working class led solidarity economy network. So it's going to be quite different and quite challenging. I think it's going to challenge us as a white privileged male. It's challenging me, and I think it will. Hopefully, you'll see more about that later in the year. So then the other stream is what the Mersey Green project is part of, and that's our open data and mapping project. So when we looked at trying to promote the solidarity economy in the UK, kind of the first obvious thing is to try and tell people about it, is kind of point to projects, to tell people about what a solidarity economy project looks like. If you point to it, and mapping was an obvious way of doing this. But when we looked at how this was done in other parts of the world, other solidarity economy projects and similar projects, we found a great mess of projects, and often projects that would grow for a little while and then have died and become defunct. Projects, the data between different projects was incompatible, and lots of very different standards being used. So we took our time in designing our approach and tried to find what was the best practice for doing this type of directory building and sharing of information about our projects, and mapping those projects. So I think what we have now is a good approach, and it's evidenced by the fact that it's getting adopted at various different levels. So you guys are piloting the regional mapping part of the project, but we're also doing maps for big co-op federations, like the International Cooperative Alliance, which is the World Federation of Cooperatives. So they're using the same technology that you guys are using for your local maps. So the vision is that basically by publishing the information in common standards, we can start to connect the grassroots projects with the larger international projects. And yeah, that's evidence of that is starting to happen. Another exciting thing is, so we came from the solidarity economy, but we've hooked up with an organization called Shared Assets, who are much more active in the commons movement, which many of you may also be aware of, and they have basically developed mapping projects. They had a pilot mapping project which was to help, so it's quite different from this. It was to help people who are trying to plan land-based projects. So if they're trying to identify a good place for a community land trust or a new permaculture farm, or housing cooperative. So there was a land element, and they needed to search and explore and plan with the land. So they developed a tool to support that, and it was like ours. It was pilots, but we're now coming together, and we formed a new cooperative called Digital Commons, which is bringing the two technologies together, and the two kind of sectors. So we'll be launching that later in the year. So this basically gives me a lot of confidence that that the project is going to sort of be really quite well connected, and quite powerful. So to come back to your project, I want to talk a bit about maybe kind of, it's great now you've got 100 projects on there. That's really great to see, and you haven't complained about any technical glitches for a while, which I don't know whether you're just leaving me alone or or it's working. So I'm hoping it's the latter. And I want to talk a little bit about the challenges I think you guys are going to face, and just a few seconds on that. And the two challenges I wanted to talk about were dilution, and keeping it alive, and keeping it live. So when I say dilution, I mean that you want this is obviously it's a mission, it's a values-led project, and you want to serve that, you want to promote the values that Margaret listed at the start. And by being successful, if you are successful, you're going to attract a lot of projects, because everyone want to get on the map and be seen and part of this great initiative. And there is a danger that if you are too open in allowing people onto the map, you will dilute the benefits of the map. So people won't have confidence that actually something on the map is actually something worth supporting and worth connecting with. So you need to develop processes, to define your standards together as a group, and develop some simple processes by which you can say no to a group. You can resist. You can sort of not automatically let a group onto a map. And ideally, it's not no, it's more like a not yet. So you can sort of have a process where you can say no, but the reason is this part of your project, this part of your company or organization is really destructive. It's really exploitative. So you need to address that if you want to be part of this project. So you're not just blocking, you're actually blocking, but having a conversation and then hopefully guiding them to, yeah, be more part of the change that you guys are trying to create in your communities. And on keeping it alive, I think you're already doing this. I don't think I need to really say this, but this is a tool for a larger project. You need to, it's what you want to achieve, the project, and this just needs to serve the project. And as long as it serves the project, you will find energy. People will want to keep the data alive. People will want to keep it up to date, and it will stay an active, useful tool. But if it's an end in itself, it won't. But I think you know that. So I think I don't really see that's going to be a problem with your project. So the other, and maybe to come back to the work in Oxford. So we, so as well as doing the directories and maps for the large cooperatives, something that's happened recently, which I'm really excited about, is because we always had this vision that by publishing the data in this way, in the way that basically makes it connectable to other projects, it can be sort of a basis for other projects. And in Oxford, we've recently created a consortium called Owned by Oxford, which is a project to sort of quite a novel approach to community wealth building, where we're piloting a not necessarily new, but basically kind of it's an approach that's not that commonly used in the UK, to do community business and cooperative development, and we're focusing on the poorer parts of Oxford City, and it's very much led by grassroots groups, and the mapping technology that we have is going to basically be used as part of a planning and tracking system for this community and cooperative business development. So the way that at the moment you're using this tool as a networking tool and a promotion tool, so you're raising awareness about where you about your projects, but actually this could then be a stepping stone to actually being used as a tool for planning cooperative development and community business development. So yeah, I'm really excited that that's happened now in Oxford, and I think it will be good. Maybe the conversations with you will be working at what larger projects in Liverpool can this tool basically help for uses beyond just kind of networking and the directory. So that would be, yeah, maybe a good place to possibly leave it. So I hope that's given you a flavor of how this project, although on its own is really exciting, but how it fits into a bigger projects, and yeah, looking forward to hearing your ideas about how you're going to use it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colm. Should we start with, are there any questions or things that you'd like to say in response to what Colm's just said? Lisa.
Just a quick one for clarity. I forgot. I didn't catch the name of the joint organisation that's being created, coming with the land-based. I didn't just catch the name of what it's going to be.
It's Digital Commons.
Thank you.
It hasn't got a website yet, so there's no point searching for it yet.
Perhaps it would be a good idea to turn the recording off. That might stop people feeling they don't